Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is on a wide-ranging diplomatic mission this week in the Middle East. His trip began Monday in Egypt. From there, he went to Kuwait and Jordan. His trip finishes with stops in Lebanon and Turkey. Tillerson announced $200 million in aid this week to rebuild Syria, which is still engulfed in a years-long civil war. Margaret Brennan spoke with Tillerson for an interview with 60 Minutes before his trip. They discussed his relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, and here is a preview.
You've said you had a very close relationship with Vladimir Putin. You've done huge deals with him. Photos of you toasting him with champagne, and all that closeness raised eyebrows. It even inspired a Saturday Night Live skit. Did you ever see that skit?
I did. My kids pointed me to it.
Pootie? Oh my God! Rexy, baby!
Did you laugh?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I laughed out loud.
But since you're Secretary of State now, you've accused him of violating nuclear arms control agreements, of cheating on North Korea sanctions, letting Assad continue now to use chlorine gas, chemical weapons on civilians. He doesn't seem to be particularly concerned about the warnings you're giving him.
Well, I don't know. We'll see if he's concerned or not. What our responsibility is...
There were 6 chlorine gas attacks in the past 30 days.
That's correct. And we have called them out for the fact that Russia has special responsibilities, in our view, because of commitments they made to destroy chemical weapons and ensure they knew that there were none.
That sounds a lot like the last administration. It doesn't sound very different.
Well, when it comes to killing people with chemical weapons, it shouldn't look any different. I think the only difference is the consequences for it. And President Trump has already demonstrated there will be consequences.
Does that mean military action is still on the table for chlorine gas attacks?
As it was in April last year, we are serious about our demands that chemical weapons not become regularized or normalized as a weapon in any conflict.
Margaret Brennan is with us now. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning.
Looking forward to this interview on 60 Minutes. What did you learn about in terms of potential future airstrikes in Syria?
Well, that was the April incident that he mentioned when the U.S. launched airstrikes in response to the sarin gas attack. And what's remarkable here is he puts chlorine gas in that same category, saying we could take military action again. And if you look at what you've been hearing this week, there's been a drumbeat. The president of France just also said, I have a red line about continued use of chemical weapons in Syria. Tillerson also said this week, not only we're seeing chlorine gas, but we're looking into reports of sarin. It is clear that despite the Trump administration's hardline response, it has not stopped Syria from continuing to use these, and it hasn't convinced Russia to really implement what they promised they would do here. So it's an interesting thing for him to draw that hard line.
Well, we don't want to give too much of it away, so we'll watch on Sunday, because I know you talk about his relationship with the president. Margaret, thank you so much. And you can see Margaret's full interview with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson Sunday night on 60 Minutes. Watch at 7, 6 Central, right here on CBS.